That's all you need. One shot, who me? Take that, ooh-wee. One shot, movie. That's all you need. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot. You only get one shot. One shot. You only get one shot. You only get one shot. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you got.
We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C., and that's where you find this place, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and we are underway from FedEx Field. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Looking to throw. Prescott swinging this out for Pollard. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Down the sideline he goes. And he will finally be shoved out of bounds down at the 30-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. These two teams met in our nation's capital earlier this season with the Commanders picking up the win at FedEx Field. So they're looking for another win here in Washington to take the season sweep. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
And Johnson's kick is good, and the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. First and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders at their own 19-yard line. That's Samuel, caught left side. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn it into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Now on 2nd and 13. Powell looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Third and long, here's Howell. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 60 yards rushing for him now to this point. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Johnson's kick is good, and that will make it 6-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. So first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week. And you can't do it all on one throw.
They begin the drive with Robinson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Robinson with another carry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 6-0 our score after 1. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. And Howe will throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Myers. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And some room to run now. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get to normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Powell throwing on third down here. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Tress Way on fourth down is sent out to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They find some open field here. Touchdown, Cowboys! And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
And Johnson's extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. Dumping it off for Johnson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
He's going to air one out. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Got his man complete. Moore. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st down, Drake. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Chase Young. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit.
Right,
Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard with career touchdown number 75 as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Out for the PAT, here's Johnson. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Next to score, Cowboys 20, Commanders nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Commanders take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On 2nd and 10, Powell. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Following the interception, here's Prescott. He's got his man, Schultz, coming across the formation. 23 yards, the final tally.
But give them credit for a good read right there, because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. He was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice game.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 14, Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys are able to widen their lead here in this first half. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, that is interception number 4 for him, Charles. 4 here in the first half alone, and they're already trailing by 4 possessions.
Makes me wonder, partner, do they just not have any confidence at all in the backup, or do they just have that much confidence in him? Able to throw 4 picks already, they're certainly hoping that he can turn things around and quickly.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. 171 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
He had to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of a tackle, and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Over the middle and complete to Moore. And he will have a Cowboys first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
And the Cowboy first down.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
Bronco switch. No check. Hey, check that. Street. Hey, smash Bronco.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
60 Maverick.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. The throw taken in by Sims. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. He'll drop to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
They're going to look to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On play action, Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On to punt now, Anger as he boots this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Alexander. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. It's a 1st down for Washington on a pickup of 11. They'll look to throw again. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this 3rd quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different.
I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
First down marker at the 31. It's third down. Gonna run again here with Pollard. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a fourth down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Hey, 47.
Prescott to throw on fourth. And this is caught. He hits more. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth.
First down, Cowboys.
So a moment to catch our collective breath after the fourth down conversion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It'll be a handoff to Pollard, and he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On third down, Drake. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down. Johnson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter, but do that. And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Washington on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They run. It's Johnson. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Looking to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. But not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one, and even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
And Johnson's extra point up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone...
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Johnson for the extra point try. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Let's go now.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
That one good for 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Robinson up the middle, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys' 30.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Get it!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the first. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll get it to Drake, running left. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's second down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now a give here to Pollard. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and the Commanders will take over possession here up at the 44. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They'll set up a throw. And my goodness, another interception. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. He's going to look deep for more. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
They'll run with Pollard. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
And the Cowboy 1st down.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. Shifts by him, and he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
And didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for Dallas, they do get that 10th win of the year as they finish up at 10-7 overall. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the Commanders, this loss will mean they finish the season on the wrong side of 500 at 8-9. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end.
Come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I'll pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon up, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise, make graveyards feel alive, break the immortal.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gon' give her some. Let's reflect times, I try to collect minds from complex rhymes. And by the way, shout out Tech 9. Go and shut the up. This